Welcome back. We're at the point where we go through the FUB, the follow-up booklet with people to finish off. Now, if you've got a laminated G7, on page 22 is a suggested way to finish off, complete with underlined words or action words to remind you to point to the relevant part of your follow-up booklet. Now, if you're using the app, there's a couple of options for you. After the review, there's a response page, and if the person chooses 2 or 3 and is willing to give you their email address, then the app will automatically send them a customized email with a link to the electronic version of the follow-up booklet. So all you need is the app to share. But I would suggest that you get some actual follow-up booklets and have them with you. Why? Well, sometimes people are reluctant to give away their email address, and there is a chance that your email won't get through the spam filters or it could be deleted. But if you have a physical booklet, then you can give it to them on the spot. You can explain so that they understand where to go to get the information that they need, and unless they actually throw it out, it will physically be in their home for them and anyone else to access. So although you have the electronic version, I still think the physical booklet is the better choice. You can print these yourself for free, or you can order these booklets from our website. Note that if you are using the laminated G7, page 22 is not like a gospel script. You don't need to say it word for word. As long as you cover the main parts, it's fine. But it is written out for you as an example. Now, you won't be able to read it anyway because you'll be holding the follow-up booklet. So if you're trying to read off here and then you're trying to turn over here, show them it's just not going to work. So let's see how this works in real life to help people. Did you see The Passion of the Christ when it came out in the movie?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes,
Pretty gory, eh?
Yeah.
But the first part of this explains why Jesus had to die on the cross, and it goes through what we've already covered here today.
Okay, cool.
The second part is how to be forgiven, how to have that ability to turn and surrender, and this will really clarify it for you, Travis, and it'll help both of you, because you said you're on your way to hell, and that would be terrible. So if you go through those 7 hard attitudes in here and get 7 out of 7, it's not about being a perfect person, but about a right-hearted attitude with God. If you get 7 out of 7, it means you're ready to pray this prayer here, surrendering your life. And if you do, and you're genuine about it, you can be absolutely certain you go to heaven when you die, which is awesome. The last part talks about how your life changes after becoming a Christian. Like, what does God do for you? How does He change you?
Yeah.
Helps you understand a bit more about who you are and why you do some of the things you do. Now, here's me in the back here. It's my name and email address. So if you want to contact me, get in contact anytime. There's also a website, answersaboutlife.com, which answers questions like, what about the other religions, or how can I know the Bible is really true? So it's helpful. I'll give you one to both of you.
Okay, cool.
And Now let's work our way through how to do this. The lead-in line is, we've put this booklet together to help people. Now note that your follow-up booklet may look different to this one. The cover of the follow-up booklet changes from time to time, and here's 2 examples of ones that we've produced. Now, whatever's on the cover, just briefly show them and then turn the page and explain that while most people have heard of Jesus dying on the cross, this booklet explains why Jesus died on the cross. And we've already covered this first section. The second section shows how to be forgiven and how to turn and surrender. And note I just flicked straight to the second section. I didn't go through page by page. If you go through page by page, the second section, it just takes way too long. So just flick. So you're either going through one page at a time or flicking the whole way through the follow-up booklet. So the second section shows us how to be forgiven, how to turn and surrender. There's 7 hard attitudes in here, and this helps you to know whether you're ready to become a Christian. And if you do get 7 out of 7 and you're genuine about that and you pray this prayer, you can be absolutely certain you're going to heaven. Now that's a great line to memorize, because they are the words that people are wanting to hear. They've confessed they're on their way to hell. They don't want a book review, they want to know the solution. How do I make it into heaven? So this is the main point of what we're trying to communicate that this booklet contains. The solution to their problem, and it's worth taking and reading. The last section talks about what happens after you become a Christian. It's really interesting. Now you'll see at the back here is a website, answersaboutlife.com, with some interesting answers to important questions like, what about the other religions, or how can I know if the Bible's really true? Now these are two key questions that people have, so I like to read them and show them that there is answers for them in here. Now my details are in here, and if you've got any questions or feedback, I'd love to hear from you. So make sure you write your details in the back so that they can contact you if they like. Now, if you're sharing with a friend, then you obviously wouldn't bother with this line as they already have your details and you can chat with them at any time. But if you're concerned about going through the G7 and whether this will affect your friendship, you may like to add in a line, something like, hey, I'd love to hear from you, and if you've got any questions, then I'll leave it to you to ask me. And that way that they know that you're not going to hound them about it every time you're seeing them, and that you're just leaving it with them and respecting them. So, but also showing that your door's always open.